Okay, it is unfortunately that time where it's our last comedian coming up. This guy, he won't admit it, but he also has a bit about how he shit himself. But I talked to him about it, and he said, hey, you know the comedy laws. You can't have 3 comedians talk about shitting themselves. So, performing a brand new set, a new shitless set, Jesse Anderson.
Yeah, so the shit one will be saved for October. My parents will be here for that one. But going off the shit just a little bit, I am also Jewish. I have the affliction. I don't know where this whole like mid-20s thing is coming from. It happened to me when I was 11. So you were innocent. Anyways, 2 of my coworkers are here tonight. That's a little freaky. Woo! I have a job. That's crazy. But I'm going to talk about AI tonight because I think that's something that we got in a lot of our minds. Everyone's talking about it. Our own university president was championing it. And you see on the news, everyone's like, oh, I feel like AI is going to take my job. AI is going to take my kids and my wife. AI is going to take my chili cheese Fritos from my mouth. And frankly, I think that's pretty fucking crazy. You're telling me that they're going to make an AI that's better than me at sitting in my bed and watching Instagram Reels? And I feel like we need to be a little more realistic, right? Like, if we look back historically at every major technology that's been invented, every time people have said it would be cataclysmic. I mean, when computers were invented, people complained it would hurt the mail industry. And when cars were invented in 1910, the bigwig was like, I proclaim this will be detrimental to the horse-drawn carriage business. And when the printing press was invented in the 1500s, Hans was running through the streets like, this will be terrible for the scribing guilds! When clothes were first invented, some dude probably bitched he couldn't wear a loincloth anymore. So I feel like we have to be a little more realistic, right? I feel like we glorify the past and we claim that apocalypse is coming in our future. And the perfect example is the History Channel. You watch these documentaries about dudes who lived 200 years ago, and some guy who's alive right now is talking like he was his best friend and they went for drinks every Friday. He's sitting on there like, people like to call John Adams a hard ass, but once you got to know him, he was a really nice guy. It's like, how the fuck did you know that? You weren't there. And I don't think that's gonna change, right? 200 years from now, when our AI overlord robots or like meta-human super people are doing their History Channel, you're gonna get the same thing, right? I'm picturing like, people like to remember Donald Trump as a man who oppressed minorities, hurt the economy, and overall just really wasn't a nice guy. But when you go under the hood, you see a much deeper picture. He was a golfer, a TV personality, a husband, a father, and above all, a good friend. People like to talk about this one story. He really cared about his friends. This one time, he made a really beautiful piece of art and he put it on a letter. And he sent it with this really well-worded piece of poetry to his best friend, Jeff. That's just the kind of guy he was. And thinking about all these technologies, that got me thinking like, what is the greatest thing mankind has ever invented? Think about it for a moment. Did you choose sliced bread? Because I sure did. What about just regular bread? If sliced bread was so revolutionary, how long did it take them to realize? How long were they sitting there with just a big old chunk of bread like, man, is that useless? Can't do anything with that. And that got me thinking about the other things that we say that just don't make any sense. I mean, like, if you do a great job, if I'm really proud of you, I'm going to tell you, you went the whole 9 yards. When has 9 yards ever been an accomplishment? If Patrick Mahomes gets his team 9 yards, everyone laughs. You didn't even make first down. You can't even make square one. But apparently you did a great job. Another one that I really hate. I love you to the moon and back. They don't love you very much. The moon is not very far. And as far as I know, I think like 10 people have been there and come back. It's not that hard. But now if they went, I love you to the sun and back. Now that's quite a bit further, right? And And as far as I know, I think only Ultron has been there, and he didn't even come back. So I leave you with this, right? People like effort. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, whether it be an essay, a letter to your buddy, 27 feet, go the distance. Thank you.